Hey, what's up, you guys? Gavin here. Today we're going to be looking at Belmont. The album we're looking at is Vicissitude. And yeah, also shout out to I Am Warrior for the suggestion last video. It was a really good band and a really good album, so thank you. Yeah, so let's jump right into this. So my first impressions of Belmont and Vicissitude was that it was such a versatile pop punk band. It had that, like, you know, pop punk, but it was a little more just like laid back. It wasn't like, you know, too pop or too punk or something. It was like a good middle ground for what it was. And then the guitars were really, like, you know, it reminded me of like math rock or something. It was, like I said, very versatile, and it brought like a fresh feel to the pop punk genre, in my opinion. Alrighty, so the next thing we're talking about are the lyrics. Lyrics I've pulled up are Crossroads. So yeah, it starts off, I'm pushing past my stitched shut lips to speak about the same old shit. Pushing past my stitched shut lips to speak. I guess it sounds like the author is like, or I guess the writer, lyricist, whatever, is saying that, like, you know, they're tired of talking about, you know, the same thing, or I guess having to repeat themselves in some aspect, or certain things, which is, I can imagine, you know, it's frustrating when you have to tell people certain things, or like certain, you know, I don't know, but like repeating yourself to anyone, I mean, even just like a sentence, it's just like not fun. Yeah, so the next part is like how we're growing up but going nowhere. I'm sick of all this lust we breathe out, but my lungs just need consistency. Yeah, you know, like, I don't know, this just reminds me of, like, you know, you're hanging out with your buddies or something, and like, you know, you know, all of them were talking about how they want to be successful, they want to do these things, they want to, like, you know, they have so many good ideas for, you know, what they want to do, but they don't put those actions into motion. And, you know, maybe this person is coming from a place where he actually wants to benefit, or he or she wants to actually fulfill, you know, these things, you know, actually achieve these things, and I guess maybe their support system is just not, is enabling them to, you know, stay in one place and not push and go further and stuff. So, you know, that can be very frustrating for, you know, anyone and whatnot. So next part is yet I'm different than when you first knew me. Yeah, see? Yeah, it's just like people who have a habit of changing or want to better themselves get really can feel claustrophobic hanging out with people who just don't want to push themselves, don't want to better themselves, you know, constantly talking about how they want to do these things, but then don't actually put that action into motion. And, you know, these are just so, I mean, a lot of pop punk bands are very expressive, and very frankly, I don't, like, personally, I mean, I guess I do listen to pop punk, but I guess just as far as the genre goes, I haven't really, like, deep dived into, you know, pop punk subgenres, pop punk, you know, culture and stuff. It was mostly like Blink-182 or, you know, a couple other bands that I'll name later on in the video that are similar to this band. But yeah, so that's these are very, very wise words, and then it definitely seems like this individual is coming from a place of, like, you know, I need to move forward, I need to change things, I need, you know, to surround myself with people who are going to change too. Alrighty, so the next thing we'll talk about are the band similarities, and these are the bands that I think that if you listen to these bands, you're probably going to really enjoy this current band that I'm reviewing, and or this album. So yeah. The first one is Citizen. I think Citizen is, you know, if you listen to Citizen or you really enjoy Citizen's music, especially like their older stuff, that you would find, you know, something to relate to with this album, something to identify in this album, because it's just a really good, you know, pop punk band, and like it definitely feels like pop punk, you know. You can definitely hear, you know, where they're coming from, like the, you know, from the ground up and stuff, but like it feels a little refreshing for some reason. I think it has a lot to do with the guitar and like, you know, the singing and like the lyrics and the way it's delivered and stuff. I don't know, it felt very versatile to me versus a lot of other pop punk bands, but you know, that I've listened to or been exposed to. So the next band is Sea Haven. I think if you really like Sea Haven, or you know, you've heard of Sea Haven a little bit, that you would really like Belmont and this album. I think it has a, you know, that kind of like that solemn feel to it, that like you know, it comes from a place of hurt, and you know, it comes from a lot of passion and a lot of, you know, feelings and emotions and stuff, and I feel like Sea Haven had a lot of that, and this is, you know, similar to Sea Haven in that regards. So yeah. The next thing is, or the next band is Basement. I think if you really like Basement, I think if you really like Basement, that you really enjoy this band and this album. Basement is just such a good staple for, you know, alternative and punk and whatnot, in my opinion. I think, you know, it just has a lot of that feel to it, you know. It seems kind of mundane at first, but then like it's like all of a sudden totally not at all what it is. It's I don't know, it's a very enjoyable band and album. Even like, cause like pop punk had kind of you know, it went from like Blink-182 to like this very emotional place, and like you know, that kind of switch up didn't really appeal to me at first, but then, you know, you kind of give into it and, you know, understand where exactly they're coming from with the switch, and you know, it I don't know, I want to say ground you necessarily, but like, yeah. So I don't know, I just think if you really like Basement, you really like this band. So yeah. Alrighty, so the next one I'm talking about is my favorite song. My favorite song off this album was Crossroads, hands down. It's the opening song, and I think it's one of the shortest songs off the album, but the lyrics were just right. The like intro guitar riff, you know, is like right up my alley of what I like, you know. Like I said, when I mentioned that this band was very versatile, it was because it had like a little bit of like a sprinkle of like math rock in there, you know, which is not totally, you know, out of the blue for, you know, any band in the rock genre or, you know, alternative and stuff, but usually when it comes to like pop punk these days, it's not really that known. It's like you either have math rock or like a little bit of punk, or it's like just punk, pop punk, and that's it, you know. So I was very pleasantly surprised to have, you know, a little bit of some those genres that I really prefer and really enjoy in this album and in this, you know, yeah, this album and stuff. So yeah, that's why Crossroads was probably my favorite. And then there was a couple other songs that, you know, I mean, this whole album was incredible, and it really shined, and it definitely made a good impression on me. But Crossroads, I think it was mostly like the lyrics and like the delivery that really really spoke to me. Alrighty, so the last one I'm talking about are the singing and screaming styles. I mean, as far as singing goes, it has like that pop punky singing where it's like the singer kind of goes with like the drum, and like every time the drum is like hit, there's like a word type of thing. It's like slam poetry type of thing, but you know, I mean, the vocals are good and stuff. I mean, it's not like it's just words and stuff, but it kind of has like that, you know, feel to it. And as far as singing goes, like it was just relatively smooth, very relatively clean and stuff. But there was some yelling, like it wasn't like full on screaming, like guttural noises or nothing or stuff like that. But it was like screaming, like yelling, like very intense, passionate yelling. You know, and you can hear like a scratch in their voice and stuff. It's like raspy. So yeah, it was kind of like that and stuff. Now as far as like screaming and singing goes, like or I guess screaming mostly is just like, I mean, you know, I kind of grew up in the screamo era when the screamo was kind of popping off and stuff. Or I guess post-hardcore, I should say. But I honestly prefer like these like scratchy yells. It feels more emotional, and it feels just like I don't know. Like I said, it feels very passionate and very like just, you know, because I mean all these pop punk albums are, you know, very emotional, and like they mean a lot, usually a lot to the people who write them and whatnot. But like I feel like as far as, you know, getting that message across, getting that feeling across, it's not so much the like level of intensity that actually you know, reaches, you know, as far as, I mean, the audience goes. Personally, you know, it reaches me when it's just like, it's not over the top, it's just like, you can feel it, you know, it comes from like the bottom of your stomach, and you know, it just kind of sounds like, you know, like almost painful, you know, but I think that's like the point. It's like, you know, you want people to understand your pain, you want people to hear your pain and understand where these feelings were coming from. So yeah. Alrighty guys, if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. If you have any other suggestions for movies, music, games alike, leave in the comment section. And also, if you're in the comment section, go ahead and like, I guess, tell me your favorite band or favorite genre. And yeah, so to rate this album, thought about this for a minute. Probably gonna give it like a 4.5. Like I said, I mean, Citizen, Basement, they are really good bands, and I think anybody that can, you know, be in the same realm as them are pretty top tier. Yeah, I think I already put some of Belmont's songs in my playlist already, because it was such a good album, such a good band, and I hope to listen to them more in the future. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Peace.